All right, let's get right into this. There's a powerful new book out by social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, and it tackles the sudden, massive epidemic of mental illness in young people. His core argument: we've basically run a giant, uncontrolled experiment on an entire generation, and today we're going to break down exactly what he found. So to get us all on the same page, Haidt kicks things off with this really stark thought experiment. It's designed to make us take a hard look at a reality we've just kind of accepted without really thinking about it. Okay, imagine this. A company comes to you and says, hey, we'll send your kid to a new colony on Mars. Sounds cool, right? But wait, there's a catch. They know absolutely nothing about child development. They offer zero safety guarantees, and they don't even ask you for your permission. You'd say no, right? Of course you would. It's an insane idea. But here's the kicker. Haidt's argument is that this is exactly what we've already done. By handing children smartphones, we've effectively sent them to an alien world, a world they aren't evolutionarily prepared for, where the rules are confusing and where one small mistake can have absolutely devastating consequences. So what happened? How did we get here? The author argues that over the last decade or so, this wasn't just about introducing a new piece of technology. No, this was about fundamentally rewiring the very experience of childhood itself. Think about it this way. We've swapped a play-based childhood for a phone-based childhood. The first one, the play-based one, is all about building what Haidt calls anti-fragility. The ability to get stronger from setbacks through real-world trial and error. But this new phone-based version, it does the opposite. It promotes fragility by forcing kids to manage a personal brand in a virtual world where the social stakes feel unbelievably high. And what's really stunning is just how fast this all happened. The book pinpoints this really specific window between 2010 and 2015 as the period when the phone-based childhood just completely took over, and 2012 seems to be the crucial year, the real inflection point for teen mental health. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out. The data is so striking. You can see it right there. Just as smartphones became a normal thing for every teen to have, self-satisfaction just plummeted. And we're not talking a little dip here, it's like falling off a cliff. And it happened for both boys and girls, right on schedule. So the big question is, how is this happening? What are the actual mechanisms of harm? Well, it's not just one thing. Haidt breaks the problem down into 4 huge foundational causes that all work together to create a perfect storm. And these harms all build on each other. It starts with social deprivation. Kids are spending way less time together in person. That leads to sleep deprivation because they're scrolling deep into the night, which in turn causes attention fragmentation. Their focus is just shattered by constant notifications. And driving all of this is the powerful engine of addiction. That's what really locks the whole cycle in place. This brings us to a super important concept: variable reward. It's a classic psychological trick. It's what makes slot machines so addictive. You don't win every time, the reward is random. And that's the exact same principle built into every social media feed you scroll. In fact, some of Facebook's early leaders even admitted they were creating a social validation feedback loop by exploiting this vulnerability in our brains. And this creates this incredibly powerful cycle of dependency. As addiction expert Dr. Anna Lembke points out, when you withdraw from any addictive substance or behavior, what do you feel? Anxiety, irritability, insomnia? The point is, just being separated from the phone produces the very symptoms of the mental health crisis we're trying to figure out. So, if we've sent our kids to Mars, how do we bring them back home? Haidt is really clear about this. This is a collective action problem. Individual parents can't win this fight alone against multi-trillion-dollar tech companies. We absolutely have to act together. When it comes to schools, Haidt argues the answer isn't 100 little initiatives. He says we need to focus on 2 massive, really impactful changes that he calls the 2 whales. The first whale: make schools completely phone-free zones, not just in a locker, but totally unavailable during the school day. The idea is to bring back real, in-person social life. The second whale: bring back more unstructured free play and longer recesses. Let kids be kids. That's nature's way of teaching them how to be resilient and how to get along. But look, fixing things in schools is only half the battle. The book argues we need a much bigger societal pushback built on 4 new norms. 1, no smartphones before high school. 2, no social media before age 16. 3, we need to give kids more independence in the real world to build their confidence. And 4, we need to update our laws to make spaces both online and offline safer for them. When you boil it all down, the book's central message is that childhood is something we need to reclaim. It argues that parents, schools, and governments all have to work together to push back against the virtual world and reground our kids in the real one. The final question it leaves us with isn't whether we should do this, but how we can finally find the collective will to make it happen.